edition of the Okpekpe International 10-kilometer race live from your World of Champions. And it's interesting to see for the first time the race is coming live to you from our studios. And of course, we'll be flying over to Okpekpe to see how things are faring there as we have Tony and Chisom standing by. Welcome to our live broadcast of the race, and it's grown bigger and better than it's ever been. Even the prize money has actually grown bigger than it's worth. And as it is, it's basically become a key element on the IAAF calendar and of course in the Nigerian athletics calendar. Welcome to the studio and lovely to have you join us. I got excellent men to run proceedings here with me this morning. Starting off very quickly with the man we like to call a lot of names. As a matter of fact, Ralph Chidozie George, aka many things I do not understand, aka RCG. Good morning to you, Ralph. You and I haven't had it this early before, but at least it's good to have us in the studio again.
This is the earliest Moses, and you don't need to give me all those call all those AKAs this morning. But it's nice to be here. Feels good. Interesting.
All right, we're ready to go on this one, and there's another legend in the house. I mean, before now, I just enjoy him on my screen doing the thing for Nigeria here. He is a legend in all ramifications of the word. Sydney 2000 gold medalist in the 4x400 meter relay for Nigeria. Men division, well, he's a man anyway. And also bronze medalist in the 4x400 meters also at the Athens Olympic. Eniafong Udobong, lovely to have you here this morning, Eni.
It's great to be here, Moses. Very great. I'm very glad to be here, and we have an exciting day ahead, and we hope that we'll have record-breaking performances today.
That is exactly what we're looking for, to record-breaking performances, but most importantly, we want to see a well-organized event. Eni, I'm starting off with you on this one. Very importantly is the fact that this race has grown in leaps and bounds, as I stated earlier on, and now it is a silver-labeled race in just 6th edition. It says a lot about how well it's been organized, and of course how the IAAF and the CAA view this particular race.
Oh yes, it's a very well-organized race, and we must understand that we are coming from a background where we are not very road runners in Nigeria. It's something that it's been accepted now in Nigeria. We don't have those protests that it's not our race. We have embraced it, we have collected it, we've done road running in different forms, and now not only 10 kilometers, but even running longer distances. So it's something that we are proud about, and for it to be a silver label, I think the organizers are doing a lot of things to even make it much better. And we can see, as you said, from the prize money, it's increased, but it's something else you have to note, that there's also a cliche to the prize money, is that it's time-based. So they want good performances, not just to win the prizes. You win more if you run better times.
Now that makes a lot of sense. Ralph, I mean, let's just jump on what Eni has
The progression is what I just want to talk about. It's been steady progression right from the first edition in 2013 as an ordinary race. 2 years after, in 2015, it became a bronze label race. 2016, it retained that bronze label. 2017, same bronze label. And now in 2018, we're going to have a silver label, the first in sub-Saharan Africa. The progression of the Okpekpe race has been steady and steady.
If you talk about it being steady, I appreciate what Eni actually stated, the fact that before now, we're known for short distance races, you know, on the sprints and the likes. But it seems as though there's been an appreciation of the long distance race, and we've had a lot of athletes come through. We've had a lot of road races and marathons happening in the past few years.
Yeah, we've had Nigeria noted for sprints over the years, but we've had half marathon. We've had you know, different types of marathons, but we've also had a full marathon in 42 kilometers, 42.19 kilometers, but this is a road race. And many people are asking what is the difference between a road race and a marathon. It is almost similar, but the fact that marathon has more distance to cover. And of course, a road race is the one of a shorter distance, 10 kilometers, with running on tarred roads, on hills, on bends and all that. That makes it a little bit different from the normal marathon. But all the same, Nigeria, it's a new field for Nigeria, despite the fact that we had a half marathon in Lagos severally, and of course the full marathon. But Okpekpe has brought something different, you know, to road race in West Africa. So it's of no mean feat.
Let's talk about Edo State itself. I mean, they've more or less put the nation on the map with this particular break. And you had to say what Edo State have done, created in 1991. Well, it was more or less a divide of the former Bendel State and now Edo and Delta States. So, you know what? We're very, very appreciative that they had this vision in mind. And it seems this race has been institutionalized. So irrespective of the government in power, and of course, they back whatever it is the private owners of the race are doing.
Oh, well, it's very good. It's just now that the different arms of governments within Edo State should maximize on what Okpekpe is doing, because not only has it put Edo State on the map, it has put it positively on the map. Edo State has been on the map for different kinds of reasons, and we can all testify to that. But positively, and not just Edo State, let us look at the name Okpekpe. I mean, even before this race, I doubt how many Nigerians knew what Okpekpe was.
Right here. That's my hands right here. I didn't know what Okpekpe was.
But Okpekpe is now an internet. Ralph says a silver label race, so it's internationally recognized. It's now a sporting destination, and for a small town with less than 3,000 people to once a year gather over 2,000 international people, both athletes, journalists, reporters, friends of the city, to come together. It does a lot for tourism, for trade, and generally for the good name of the state.
I'll be taking your thoughts, both of you, on what the tourism effect is as regards this massive race for Okpekpe and, of course, the indigenes of Edo State. All right, let's head off straight to what to expect as regards the history of the Okpekpe Road Race.
It's the 6th edition of the Okpekpe International 10-kilometer road race, the event which has been elevated to a silver label status for 2018 by the International Association of Athletics Federation, IAAF, following laudable feats by organizers in hosting the race since inception. It attracts global recognition with StarCast present each passing year. Arguably one of the biggest sporting events in Africa, 6 years of providing a platform for athletes to showcase their talents. It's finally upon us, and all roads lead to Isaka in northeast region of Edo State, where several thousands of people take to the streets in a race for both amateurs and the best in the running world. The story of Okpekpe will be incomplete without the mention of brand sponsors and partners, with EcoBank PLC leading the trail for the 4th year, and Africa's premium sports channel, SuperSport, who have played a huge role from the start. They will, for the first time ever, provide live broadcast of the event to the delight of consumers. 4 previous editions were highlighted with a grand takeoff by host and convener Adam Soshomole, former governor of Edo State, whilst this year's will be the 2nd time running for Governor Godwin Obaseki, who has been passed the baton as host. From the records, the East Africans have always dominated the leading pack since 2013, with Moses Masai clinching the first prize winner in a time of 29 minutes 39 seconds in the men's category. Asafan Testome from Ethiopia set a new time record of 28 minutes 26 seconds in the men's race to emerge winner of the 2nd edition. In 2015, Alex Corrillo took the male title at a time of 29:20 in the men's, while Taniu Aifele got a 33:34 time to finish first in the females. The 2016 race had Simon Cheprot and Wanjiku Njeru come first in the men and women's categories. Cheprot came through in 29:48 and Njeru at 33:30, making it the 3rd time in 4 seasons that the Kenyans recorded a double in the competition. The 2017 edition was won by Luel Gebri Selassie, 29:28 in the male category, while Gebru Azamraran won at 33:59 to become the women's champion. The top 3 finishers got $15,000, $10,000 and $7,000 in both the male and female categories. In this year's race, organizers of the IAAF Silver Label Okpekpe International 10-kilometer road race have announced an increase in prize money. A total of $112,000 is on offer to the top 8 finishers in both categories. The winner in each gender category gets $20,000, while $13,000 and $9,000 go to the second and third place. So let's brace up for over 60 minutes of fun and excitement as the Okpekpe Road Race gets underway.
All right, excitement, and of course it's growing very, very gradually as we look towards the beginning of the race, the 6th edition of the Okpekpe International Road Race. And yes, gentlemen, let's talk about past winners. As it stands, and from 2013 it's been the Ethiopians and the Kenyans that have held sway. We saw, I think in 2013 was Moses Masai of Kenya with a time of 29:39, and 2014 Teshoma Asafan, who basically holds the record for Okpekpe International, the 10-kilometer road race, with a time of 28:36. That's the time to beat, and nobody has beat that time yet. 2015, Alex Koroy of Kenya, 29:20, and we saw Simon Cheproy, another Kenyan, coming through for 2016 winner, 29:48, and 29:28 is the time for Luel Gebrselassie of Ethiopia. So basically, the odds have been shared between these nations. Let's look at the women. Wude Ayalew of Ethiopia with a time of 32:41, 2014. Tanui Aifele, another Kenyan, comes in there for 2015. 2016, we saw Pauline Wanjiku, who basically is very reputed to come through to this site for most of the races in Nigeria. Another Kenyan with 33:53. And last year, it was Gabriel Azemra, Ethiopian, 33:59 for 2017, winner in the elite category as it stands. And for Nigerians, I think we'll come through with those ones later, but Deborah Palm has been the name that has held sway since 2014 till this very, very time. Now, you can't take it away from the Kenyans, or the East Africans, let's just put it that way. No wonder they keep coming through here, because it's a big deal, it's a big race, and now that it's a silver label, the organizers can now determine who comes through or who doesn't.
Oh, well, we must know that in every international competition, in every top-level competition, it's the Ethiopians and the Kenyans that hold sway in middle and long-distance races. So we really cannot fault the organizers. They are following international trends. But what I want to understand is that, or what I want people to understand is that this year, while we still expect the Kenyans and Ethiopians to hold sway, but we should expect better times. We have seen the only sub-29 time in the men race was by Asafa and the Ethiopian. But because of the prize money and the staggering based on time and the silver label, now we have better quality athletes. I expect that the times will be better. The Ethiopians and the Kenyans will still carry the day, but I feel that now we'll have better times, better results than we've had over the years.
I think what everybody will be looking forward to is it going the way of Kenya or Ethiopia? But Ralph, the timing is actually key. Now that it's at a silver status label, no doubt we want to see more gold label outlets come through. But we need to actually top the timing from 2015 of Teshoma.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the criteria that gives that will make Okpekpe a gold label race in years to come, or even it might happen next year or so. But the athletes, they need to put up a better, improved performances. 28 that was run by Asafa in 2014, it needs to be improved upon. Last year was 29:28. So all that, with some of the fastest road racers coming through to be part of it this year, I'm expecting a better timing, maybe lower than the 28 that also Asafa did in 2014.
Fingers are crossed for that one, my ass.
Definitely.
I will see how it fares. But the truth is, we're getting all excited as the race time draws very, very closely. We'll take our first breather on the show. When we make our return, there's still more to talk about. It's the Okpekpe International 10-kilometer road race.
The facilities that are available for this year. You want to drop it?
With speed and determination, boundaries are broken. Knowing that every form of friction reduces your chances of winning, you think of your why. Why am I doing this, you may say. At that point, the only thing greater than title is service. Access Bank. Speed, service, security.
Welcome to the live broadcast of the 6th Okpekpe International 10-kilometer road race. And yes, it's the first time the race is actually going to be broadcasted live from start to finish. And it's a big deal as it is. And we're looking forward to some great out and great timing, just like the analysts have stated here, Eni and Ralph Chidozie. All right, basically we have guys who are standing by at the very start and of course the end, Chisom and Twain. We're waiting to see how things are going down over there in Okpekpe. Let's see if we can catch up with them, see who they have to speak to us. All right, Annie, let's just go quickly to what to expect as the race kicks off. Very importantly, I think I like the fact that you stated on the timing. We want to see good timing as it is. But let's also talk about organization. From the 1st, 2013 to the 6th, well, let's leave the 6th, let's stay with the 5th, 2017. How do you think that race has actually developed over time?
Well, it's done very well, I think. And then what we have to put on note is that a lot of organization of things we do not see, things that are taken care of, things so that we can appreciate what we see. There are lots of things in logistics, in hotel accommodation, in transportation, in getting people from Benin to Okpekpe, which is about an hour's drive. So a lot of things have to take place smoothly so that the race can go on at time and without any kind of hitch.
Now you stated that I hear you as regards organization, but very importantly, the rippling effect of this kind of races in the country should be that of development of Nigerian athletes. Is that really happening?
Well, we have to understand that, yes, it is happening. Nigerian distant runners can now see that they have a competition in which they can win prize monies. They've never had that before. So they will have to train harder. We do have athletes that can compete with the Kenyans. We have a factory of distant runners somewhere in Jos or in Plateau State, and they've always been coming around. Palm, you mentioned earlier, is coming from the Langtan area of Plateau, and they are actually churning out athletes. But it is the encouragement and the hope for international competitions that kills their talent. And now once they see races like Okpekpe and the others around them, then they have the more determination, the more motivation to train and to do very well. And let's not forget that road races have always been taking part in our primary schools. We've had cross countries and lots of things. But it's that stage of from fun and amateur to development to elite that's been missing with us.
So what needs to happen now, especially with the Athletics Federation of Nigeria? I know they are fully backing these particular races. Are we looking to see more of this come up from different organizers? Because this is great exposure for our athletes.
Hopefully, and then, you know, in the national trials, we always have the race, the 10-kilometer race, which we don't like to take part in. And when you see that you have this kind of big races that you can prepare for, we will bring back that into our program in the national trials, in 10 kilometers.
All right, as it is, this is what the start is looking like for the elite. And yeah, we, interestingly, the only one person we see, the winner from last year, didn't make it back this year. But then we won't forget the man who actually won it in I think this was in 2016. He makes a return back into this. I guess he's actually very, very heated to go. The Kenyan, Simon Cheprot. I think, no doubt, he will be a formidable force to look forward to. And also for the other people we're looking at, we see some Business Gudachil. I think I got that pronunciation right, so I don't mess people's names up here live on television. She also was a past winner, I think a silver, some time back. She makes a return to this one. I think she was the bronze medalist, I beg your pardon, Gudachil from Ethiopia. So it is an interesting matchup in this one, and well, interesting race it will be. But no doubt, do you see past winners who are making a return here give us a better time?
Well, I'm very impressed with seeing Zakaria Buda from Morocco coming to run, and he might probably break the Kenya-Ethiopia duopoly for that you have mentioned earlier on, because he's a very, very exciting runner.
Morocco?
Yeah, from Morocco, and they are churning out good runners too. And Hisham Al-Garouche has come from there, and we know that they have a history of having, when they do bring out runners, they bring out very talented ones indeed. Okay.
We'll see how far. I will take your thoughts. I'm interested in the fact that you pointed out Morocco, because, you know, we always hand this over to the East African. All right, we have Chisom standing by, and we're interested to know what her thoughts are as regards people who are ready to receive the runners at the end of the race.
Hi, Moses. Hi, guys. So good to see you guys over there in the studio. Moses, I see that you're in very good company with Annie and Ralph Chidozie George. Ralph is also going to be a commentator. What an excellent trio we have in the studio. But, guys, just to set the scene of what's happening here in Okpekpe. Okpekpe is looking very, very happy indeed. Very merry, very gay, very bright. Not yet sunny, but we can tell you that the weather is predicted to be quite hot later on. It's going to be at a low of 23 degrees, but the high will be at 31 degrees. That's not too bad, but what's going to be very difficult for the athletes here will be that humidity, and that humidity will be at 97%. We do know that there will be scatters of showers here and there, and hopefully we won't get to see the rains until the athletes are done, and maybe until we're done as well, because I really don't want to see any of that rain touch me and ruin my makeup. But guys, just to let you know, in case you don't know, Okpekpe is in Edo State, popularly known for the Bini people, and Edo State is bordered in the west by Ondo State, in the north by Kogi State, in the east by Kogi and Anambra State, and of course in the south by Delta State. So it's very well surrounded. A cocktail of people are here, and all of them are coming out here to support this race. If you look at me right behind me, you will see the tracks here getting ready for the athletes, and you can see the kids all around. Everybody is ready to witness this. I can tell you that the elite athletes as well are very, very good here back. Pauline Wanjiru is one of those who is back, 2016 winner. We also have the Kenyan who won in 2016, vying to be the first man to win it twice for Okpekpe Road Race, the 10-kilometer road race. So it's looking very exciting. But Toyin is at the start, and Toyin should have more information about the athletes who are right there. Toyin, what's going on at the start? He's talking to me.
All right, thank you, Chisholm. A very good morning. I am here at the finish line, or the start line rather, for the Okpekpe Road Race, getting ahead of myself. Now, the humidity here is at 97%, so it's likely participation will happen. However, I can see that spirits are very high, people are at the back, and the elite athletes are taking their positions at the start line here at the Okpekpe 2018 Road Race. But of course, it is going to be a very, very anxious year to see if we can have the record of last year broken in this year's edition. And of course, this is the first time that the road race is happening as a silver label race. As you can see, the athletes are going steadily towards the start line, taking their places. And of course, one of the beauties of this road race is that we have athletes from all over the globe taking their position to compete in this international road race. Thank you, and over to you, Chisholm.
Chisholm, you're going to be there if it rains. But again, we've had all the in-swingers from how people are ready. We see people lining up as early as just to catch a glimpse of the races at this point in time. So, Anna, No doubt. The excitement is absolutely rife up there in Okpekpe, and I'm kind of feeling I would have loved to be there.
Well, you would have loved to be there, and most especially, I'm sure the athletes will disagree with you. Would love the rain at that humidity and at 31 degrees. We would love the rain to come out.
I was going to ask you on that one because I think the challenges of running uphill and the likes at that level of the humidity, I hope we can actually beat the time that we're looking to beat.
Yeah, from the quality of athletes abroad, they should be the time. We should see sub 29. We should see 28 something. But yes, you said the challenges of running up the hill. The Okpekpe is very hilly and very curvy. It's a big challenge. The humidity is another challenge. So fighting the LM8s might be on the forefront of the athletes' mind, apart from fighting their opponents on the race.
How do you think Nigerian athletes will fare this time around? Are we looking to see a better timing also?
Well, Nigerian athletes over the years have tried to become more professional in this kind of road racing, and they participated in longer marathons too. So I think that they'll be more determined, and the prize money has increased for the Nigerian athletes. They'll be very well determined. I believe that we will see a top 5 or in the female in Nigerian athletes come through, because we do have international experience there.
All right, let's talk about how the IAAF has taken this particular race, and it looks as though they're taking it quite seriously. It's being that it's seen as one of, or rather designated as one of the leading races in the world. The fact that it's been silver labeled after its 6th edition, I mean, that even happened this year. For the life of me, I mean, in the next 8 years, just look at the undulating roads that the athletes are going to run through. This is beautiful.
It's a beautiful scenery, and you see, this is what the road race showcases to the world. This is the beauty of Nigeria, natural beauty. And Okpekpe says it is not a city that's scattered with artificial development. It's the scenery is so natural, it's so clean, and then you can enjoy the beauty of nature. And I think that's one of the things that the IAAF has taken into consideration. That it's a rural area. We didn't go to the mega cities of Lagos or Abuja or Port Harcourt. We went down to the rural area to bring athletics to the grassroots, to make them excited and to see international people come there. You could have seen from Chisholm the little kids scattered at the finish line, waiting to see and happy to see what's happening. They may not understand the extent of what is going on. Probably when they grow older, they'll know that what Okpekpe had brought for them, or what the IAAF race had brought for them in Okpekpe, had been something very special that a lot of people, lots of counties all over the world would be very jealous of.
Won't it actually create some level of vision in their hearts that, you know what, as a young boy, I saw athletes coming through here, and a desire is built in their heart. You know what, I want to run on this sometime. You're
very correct, and I can talk from experience. As I'm seeing athletes stand on the Olympic podium, it inspired me, and we have heard lots of stories about tennis stars being ball boys before, and then those. It just tells you why you have top tennis players in the Grand Slam coming from those Grand Slam countries. You can see that Okpekpe will obviously challenge some young people to, especially from Okpekpe area. We'll be very proud if we have a national champion from Okpekpe later on in life that comes and say, look, I was inspired by watching runners from Okpekpe run. We've seen that.
I'm inspired by your story too. I will tell you that, because just right here on our table are your medals. I mean, this was something you looked at, like, you know what, I would like to be on the podium of at an Olympic event, and right here for 2 Olympics you were actually at with medals to show for. All right, let's head straight to the starts. We're ready to get the show going, and all the best to the races.
All right, a beautiful morning it is. Welcome to the Okpekpe International Road Race. This is the 6th edition. And of course, the 6th edition is one with a difference. It is the first IAAF Silver Label Road Race to be recognized on Nigeria, nay, West African soil. And it looks very interesting. The start line there, the athletes are all set to for the flag off, and it's going to look looking very interesting. I see the man they call a Juju man right there. Brownie Bewele, that's the takeoff for the 2018 Okpekpe International Road Race. The gun went and the athletes are off the block. and we are expecting a very, very interesting race. The 6th Okpekpe International Road Race will officially flag off a number of international labeled 10 kilometers road races in the world this year, and it is looking very good. We have a lot of internationally recognized road racers around for this one. As you can see, they are in the front and racing. Of course, a lot of the other athletes behind them, but you're sure when it is a road race, a lot of the athletes are running for fun and others are just there to keep fit. But then you have the most interesting athletes, the ones in the front, international recognized road racers. They are right there. Okpekpe Road Race, it's not all the time you share commentary with an Olympic gold medalist and all that. And I've got one that just coming in from the other studio, Neofiok Udobong joins me on commentary. And Neofiok, welcome.
Thank you, Ralph. It's a big pleasure to be working with you. You're a legend yourself and hearing you all the time. I know you ran a lot of commentaries on my own race too when I was an athlete. You rightly said Okpekpe Road Race is not just about the elite athlete. A lot of charity races are going on, a lot of keep fit races are going on. So when people watch it, they should understand that running is life, running is health, running is fitness. And while you see some people have different reasons for running, we can see the elite athletes going up in front, and we can see some of the wannabes that want to be athletes following behind, and we can always see the jolly good fellows running behind, trying to engulf in the whole atmosphere and enjoy themselves.
Exactly, and so let's take a look at some of the elite athletes that are in for this one. I see Kibet Alex in Bib 115 right there, and of course you can also see the man in Bib number 129, Rono Timothy Kiplagat, another Kenyan. And so these are some of the internationally recognized road racers right here and in front running this race. What are you expecting from this race? I know you've said it before, but exactly on commentary, what are you expecting from this race that is already on?
Well, first of all, you have to notice that there will be kind of, we saw at the beginning, there was a kind of Formula One kind of style. There was a hustle and a jostle, some people losing their footing. But the elite athletes will try to break out the early parts of the race before they get into their rhythm so that they can get away from the maddening crowd. And then when they get into the rhythm of the race, it will take us about 5-6 minutes to really establish who are the contenders. For now, we can see, like you said, Kiplagat will be doing very well, and also Buddha Zakaria from Morocco. I am predicting that he will have a very good race. He's there with the leading pack. We have Kibet Alex. It's obviously one of the favorites for the race. So it's too early to tell. Now it's more of fun. By the time we get into the 10th minute, passing the first kilometer, then we will be very sure that people like Kiplagat and Chiperot will set the pace for this race.
Exactly. It's Okpekpe Road Race, internationally recognized. It is a silver label race this year. It started in 2013, and of course, just 2 years after the takeoff in 2015, it became a bronze label race. And in 2016, it was retained as a bronze label race, and in 2017, same. But from 2018, exactly, it was in November 2017 that the IAAF, recognized Okpekpe, sent the email across that from 2018 Okpekpe Road Race has become a silver label race. It shows lots of progression.
It's a progression indeed, and it's a feather in the cap to the organizers. They have been very meticulous in trying to put this race together. We must understand the logistics behind getting to Okpekpe. Okpekpe is not a glamorous city. It's not one of the mega cities in Nigeria. Okpekpe is about an hour away from the nearest airport in Benin. And so to bring up international athletes, to get the proper accommodation, to get the proper organization, to put out the proper security, to free up the roads from traveling. It's a very busy route in terms of connecting Benin, the south, to the northern part of the country. So exactly. It has to be, the organization has to be top-notch, and we are very proud that the organizers have been able to do that. And they just need to cross their T's and dot their I's, and they'll be getting the gold label very soon.
Oh yeah, we're expecting that to happen. One of the athletes in contention for this one is Josephat Kiprono Menjo. It is the fourth fastest time. It has the fourth fastest time in history of 10-kilometer race, and it's here in Okpekpe. 27 minutes and 4 seconds. That's his time, fourth fastest in history of 10-kilometer race.
Well, it's nice. So it's nice for the viewers to understand how and appreciate the timings of the 10-kilometer race. On the track where the conditions are almost perfect, the world record for the 10 kilometers or 10,000 meters, as it's called in the tracking race, is 26.00 by Haile Gebrselassie. And we can see that that's an excellent time. So we can use that as a base to see how well an athlete might go. So anything close to 26 seconds, 27 seconds, especially on the terrain, it's a beautiful time.
Let's take you through some of the athletes you'll be watching. Of course, watching from the start list. Alex Kibet of Kenya is right there. Jima Bekele Reta of Ethiopia. Josephat Kiprono Menjo, the man we just talked about, the fourth fastest in history of a 10-kilometer race, right there from Kenya. One Sofre of Nzikwikunda. I hope I've not murdered that name, right there from Burundi, also in the start list. And these are the athletes racing for this one. Some of them, you could say, also runs. They are all here running for different reasons, and that's why the road race and Okpekpe Road Race, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, the road race is a family affair, and we have seen here, obviously, this is some of them that are they're not just hoping to win the $20,000 at stake. They are hoping to win more of a healthy lifestyle and to have a personal record of having gone through the 10 kilometers. You mentioned Alex Kibet, 28-year-old Kenyan. He's been around for quite a while, but I'd say he's a very good runner. He's won a lot of laurels along the way, and he won recently in Spain. As the race goes around, we'll see more and more people. The VIP race will soon start. We'll see some more pot-bellied people running, and that's part of the fun of Okpekpe. And it's the whole thing about bringing the society, the community together is what we are very proud of in Okpekpe. It's a great feeling. It's a great race. It's a great festival of running.
Indeed. And if you're just joining us, you're on the race started already, the 6th edition of Okpekpe International Road Race, 10-kilometer it is. This is the aerial view of the village of Okpekpe. And what else to bring recognition to such a village than the Okpekpe International Road Race? Definitely, this village never the same since 2013. The Okpekpe Road Race has started.
That's nice that it's never been the same, and we are very proud of what's going on in Okpekpe, and we must understand that Okpekpe is a great city.
Great village. All right, let's take you through the women's start list. Buzunesh Gudeta Getachew of Ethiopia, right there. Damaris Muti Mutua of Bahrain, also there. Diana Chemtai Kipioke of Kenya. Eunice Jepkoriel Ketich, also there. Juliet Chekwel, Kara Serhei Chaka of Ethiopia. Chekwel is from Uganda. Well, Mary also right there. And of course, the women's start list continues. So we have lots of them. Perrine Nengampi of Kenya. Pauline Njeru Wanjiku of Kenya, very popular. Sandra Chebet Tue, also right there. And of course, we have Sheila Chebet of Kenya. Shelmit Muriuki of Kenya. Yami Dera Dida of Ethiopia. And Yeshe Kalayu Chekole of Ethiopia also running in this one.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Juliet Chekwel, and maybe I should talk about her because she's Ugandan. Many people don't only think that we have only Ethiopians and Kenyans here. But Juliet was the 7th in 10 kilometers in the Commonwealth Games, and you can know that such international experience will give her a big edge here. She's run 31 minutes, and that's an impressive time. Although she ran that in the track, if we add a minute to that for the road race, running 32 can give her a gold medal here. But let's see if the Kenyans and Ethiopians will let her have her way.
I also talked about Chebet Tue. Of course, Chebet Tue from Kenya was fastest woman over 10 kilometers so far this year. Of course, she ran 30 minutes and 57 seconds. She is the fastest so far this year in 10-kilometer race. And Buzunes Gudeta of Ethiopia, I saw her name there in this race, the 2016 winner in the women's category. So lots of fast legs in a road race right here in Okpekpe. And
we can look at the town of Okpekpe. I was trying to talk about Okpekpe, and as you see, it's very
look at the scenery.
It's a beautiful scenery. It's surrounded by mountains, and it goes back to their history. When the Oba about 300 or 700 years ago needed that everybody should more or less worship his son, the people of Okpekpe refused, and to run for safety, they had to run from Benin to come and settle in this mountainous area where they are well protected. That's where the history comes from. And that's where they settled down and decided that this is where they're going to start their city. So over the years, we can see that they've used the hills and the hilly sides for protection. These are the elites group of runners coming in through. You can see very clearly we have Alex in the mix running there. We expect that by around this time, like I told you, in 10 minutes, we know that the leading pack of 6 athletes, from here, we're going to have our winners, and that you can be certain about.
Rono Timothy Kiplagat and bib number 129 right there in the midst. And of course, right from the start, it's been amongst the people in front there running their races. Really interesting. So a whole lot happening. The elite runners are in front. There are lots of them also chasing, and others far behind. Lots of catch up to do, and they hope to do all that. The ladies are not yet in sight. As usual in road races, you always find the ladies far behind, and of course doing their own thing. What about this for entertainment?
Entertainment, and to bring out the people, if there is anybody in Okpekpe still sleeping, to come out and watch the race.
All right, that's what this is all about. The fun, the camaraderie, everything is brought in. Okpekpe International Road Race happening here, and this one, a Nigerian making his way. Of course, there are lots of prizes for Nigerians that will return, but we're hoping that a Nigerian will break into the top 3, hopefully this year. Can Nigeria do that?
It's possible, but we don't expect to see them winning this time. And that might be the leading pack of the women and the leading Nigerian man coming through there. We can see there, this is the 2 Ethiopians trying to run down. Probably we'll see the leading pack for the women might not be as close as that for the men.
Exactly. The Okpekpe International Road Race, of course, brought to you by Pat Moses Sports, but they've got lots of friends of the race. Development Bank of Nigeria, part of it. Nationwide Properties, part of it. Nigerian Breweries PLC, of course, ever present in sport. Access Bank PLC, support ways.
So it's a class. Bahrain girl. That's Gudeta from already in the first 13 minutes of the race, and we actually getting through to halfway stage. The men are still trying to pick up and do much, open up the race. That's Alex from Kenya running closely. Running closely with him, that's Kiplagat. And like I told you, this is the leading 6.
There is also the Kibet Alex in 115 bib. There. Now you have the lady. Is that the one you talked about?
No, this is the Nigerian lady, probably the Nigerian lady. This is Emmanuel Palm from he's from Plateau State, one of the top runners from Nigeria. We hope that he'll put up a throw. He's been running 10,000 this race for more than 10 to a decade now. He started running when he was 12, 11. He's a very experienced competitor at that. And we do have people now already tiring out. We've gone, we expect that in another 14 minutes, we will see the winning men from the race.
All right, then, Emmanuel Pam or Gang, of course, he was a part of the winners, won in 2015, and also hoping to be part of the winners. Now the ladies are right there. So the lady in 119, and that's talking about Perrine Nengampi of Kenya, all right, as one of the leading girls, and lots of other girls making, of course, trying to catch up.
Well, you can see, you mentioned Emmanuel Gyang there. He won in 2015. He wasn't so lucky last year, but I think now he's determined to make a comeback. We keep an eye on the leading pack as they try to break out into a single file, and that's, you can determine the quickness of a race by how bundled up they are. When you have a lot of athletes bundled up together, you know that it's going at a slow pace. But when they start to file out in single file, you know that the pace is opening up and we'll be expecting a good time. And the leading 6 are about to file up now, and they are breaking up from a leading 6 to probably a pack of two packs of 3.
Earlier on, got a glimpse of Njeru Pauline Wanjiku of Kenya, and a bib number 123, and that's one of the ladies I have my eyes on.
Yeah, that's Juliet doing very well from Uganda, and they said she did well in the Commonwealth Games, and she should be in good form. She should be in good shape now.
And so the pack of the leading 6, like Nefiok said, at any moment you have one of them break off from the rest, and others will play catch up, and then that's when the race will really open up, and the pace will be quickened, and a whole lot will be happening then. Remember, it's a 10-kilometer road race, not like the marathon of 42.19, and so this one a little bit faster. Everybody wants to have a grab of that big money that Okpekpe Road Race has thrown up.
Yes, and as you can see, it might be a Kenyan clean sweep. We've seen Rono Timothy, Alex Kibet, and Simon Chiprot breaking up to the top 3, and they are determined to push up through. We must understand that there's a new innovation in this year's race, is that while the prize money has increased, the stakes are now higher. You have to run a very good race to win the race.
I like that. A very good race to win the race. That's some rhyme there, and that is what it's all about. The last time we saw a clean sweep of 1-2-3 was in 2017. That was last year when we had a clean sweep of Ethiopians, Luel Gebre-Selassie, Jima Bekele, and Dawit Fikadu. That's been the only year we had a clean sweep of the top 3.
Well, the Kenyans have taken that as a challenge and are coming for a revenge.
Maybe the revenge will be this year, but you can rule out the Ethiopians, and of course the Moroccan you talked about, a very strong runner, and that's talking about Boudad Zakaria, the Moroccan, and we're hoping that he will break in.
At this time now, the VIP race will soon be starting. And then we will get to see the governor of the state run, the former governor, and we will have a lot of dignitaries running. So they might you might see the fun part of this race, and they will have the pot bellies and the smiles, everything.
All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Okay, all right, I'm here at the start line. The VIPs are about to proceed, and of course they are led by the Governor of Edo State, His Excellency, Sir Godwin Obaseki. Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Now, of course, this is a very, very important race for not just Nigeria, but Africa included. What informs your decision to continuously host this race as a silver label race here in Edo State?
First, our interest as a state in sports, but also because of the tourism benefits of this event.
Now, of course, we can see that the elements aren't going to be necessarily favorable, but how have you been preparing for this year's 10-kilometer race?
I've been quite busy, as you know, but I'm sure, like all the other races I'll finish this time.
Right, now, of course, I can't help but notice we also have the former governor of Edo State, His Excellency Oshomale. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Now, of course, we know that you're very, very adept in participating in this race and usually completing the race. Are you prepared to complete this year's race?
Yes, I'm inspired by the governor. If the governor, who has all the job to do 24/7, can find the time, the energy to do, all I need to do is to give him the support. We are ready for 10 kilometers. I'm going to really give him a tough fight on the track.
I believe you, sir. Now, of course, there's no ignoring the fact that we have the Honourable Minister of Sports in attendance also. Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. And, of course, you're ready to participate in this race?
Well, I'm challenging Oshomale and the governor of Edo State. That's why I'm here. So I'm ready.
So we do look forward to seeing who will actually win, but of course we're going to give them space to actually proceed right now. The race is about to flag off, and as you can see, the conditions aren't favourable. It is about to rain, but we'll go over to you. It's about to start off right now.
Thank you very much.
All right, very interesting from Tony Leon there. Of course, talking to some of the big men that will be running in the, what do you call that race?
The
now?
VIP race.
VIP race. A governor, a former governor, the current governor, of course, the Minister for Sports. I know sure you have a lot of commissioners and assembly members right there. When our race is about to take off, I will let you know, and you will see it right here on your World of Champions. So the Okpekpe 10-kilometer road race still happening right there, coming to you from that little village in Okpekpe. That's a town kilometers away in the Esako local government area of Edo State. Esako East, 25 kilometers northeast of Auchi. Auchi is a popular town closest to Okpekpe and all that. So the runners, this one's not very far away from the front runners.
Well, these ones are just passing the 5-kilometer mark at 22 minutes, so we are giving them an hour to finish the race. We expect that the leading athletes will be a kilometer to finish. So anytime from now, we should start seeing that they must have isolated themselves very well from the race, and we'll see if the Kenyans are still taking the 1, 2, 3, or the Ethiopians, especially the Ethiopians, that have anything to say about that.
All right, some of them already breaking, running, and of course making it a walk. That's what road race is about. You can walk, you can run, you can even jog, or whatever you like, you can do. But for the front runners, they take it very seriously. The 2013 winner was Moses Masai in 29.39 seconds, and 2014 winner was Teshome Asafan, and that's the record holder of the Okpekpe International Road Race at 28.36. That's the only man that has been able to break the 29 time.
Minutes barrier. Yeah, it was an incredible time, and I think the organizers want to have more of such time, and that's why they have put conditions to the winners of the race, to how you win prize money. It's based on how fast you run. And this is the VIP race trying to starting off. We can see the ambulance and the escorts will always be there, because we do not know how many times that these people run. The Minister of Sports is running there, and the last governor and current governor of Edo State are all running. We expect that probably the very fit security guards may have to run with them too.
They are not doing 10 kilometers. Just about 2.5 kilometers or so, if they can. That's what it is for the VIPs, but it is a fun race for them.
Well, it is a fun race. It is a good race, and it is also something that should be encouraged. It's good for the health. It's not just that VIPs are coming out. We know that on particular times, the former governor, Adams, has run the full 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
And we've known him to do that once or twice. So this is actually, in as much as it is symbolic in its in the observation, it's actually very good in the health of the athletes, of the dignitaries.
So, ladies and gentlemen, watching on your World of Champions, while the athletes are doing their thing, started long ago, the VIP race has just started, as you saw right there. These are the athletes.
I can see it's Alex Kibet leading the race now, and he's closely followed by Timothy Rono. But the Kenyans are showing you, like I told you earlier on, they have opened the gap and it's now a single file. The bunch of 6 have now come to a double people running together. It's Alex Kibet, I think it is. Once they go out the trees, we will be able to see them. The rains have started coming, and it's might make it a little bit refreshing for them, although difficult in running through. It might make it very refreshing, and that is where, like I told you, Alex Kibet in the leading the race, closely followed by Simon Chiprot. Simon Chiprot probably has longer legs and probably might be able to have a stronger finish. He's one of these 2 Kenyans that are going to win it, and we can keep an eye on the time. It's 25 minutes. Sub 28 or sub 29 is what we're looking for.
Exactly, and it would really gladden our hearts. These are the 2 front runners, and of course, back to the start of the VIP race. They are doing their thing. They are taking it easy. They are not interested in winning the title. That's far from them. But all the same, it is very interesting that Okpekpe International 10 kilometers race is really happening right there in the heart of Edo State. Edo State is known as the heartbeat of the nation. And
well, as they get to the finish line, I hope Chisholm has an umbrella for her makeup to be stayed, because it's raining. The rains are pouring heavily now, and the Alex keep up is still leading the race, as we can tell, while the dignitaries are taking their own race down at their own start. We can see the governor and his wife making it a family fun day.
It's all fun, and the governor always doing it every year in, year out. But as you can see, the elite athletes right there, of course, still making it. Nzikwikuda Oneshore of Burundi, right there you saw earlier on. And of course, the rain pouring down. But these are some of the effects that you feel in road races. And is it positive for the athletes, when it rains?
It helps in the long distance races, especially the kind of humidity they have. And as you can see, it's Alex Kibet is doing very well under the conditions. Simon Cheprot is dropping just about 1 meter or 2 behind. I think he's not making use of his legs very well. He should try and open the stride. He's a taller athlete. And that's Alex doing very well, trying to finish up here. I think he can see the finish in sight. He knows his finish. He should finish any time from now. We are seeing 27 minutes there. It's might not be a very excellent time as we were expecting. The conditions may have helped. The rains are coming heavier. You can see it's a downflood. It's a downflood.
I'm sure they never expected to run in the rains, when they came in. But all the same, it's part of what happens. It's 28 minutes already gone into the race. It might be the unofficial one. We're expecting the official timing. Of course, what you're seeing. This year, my laps and the official international timing has been brought in just like last year, and everything is going to...
And it's an international road measurer has measured it, and we can just see that they have just crossed the half a kilometer mark to go. So if in 500 meters, we expect them to do 500 meters in about 1 minute. And so I will expect that the winning time should be in the region of 29 minutes, 30 seconds, 29 minutes, 35 seconds. That's what we're looking at if they do have a strong finish. So it's going to be sub 30 seconds, but we'll expect that in the next 30 seconds, we should have the winner.
Sub 30, it will be good. Last year, Gabriel Selassie ran 29 minutes and 28 seconds. And of course, we're expecting it to be cut down this year, surely.
Well, it probably might be about the same time, and we can see that the first 2 Kenyans are going to be there. It's pretty much going to be, except a calamity happens, pretty much going to be Alex Kibet being the champion this year, and it's going to be closely followed by Simon Chiprot following up. So there he goes. It's the final. Chiprot is trying to come behind it. The final 10 meters to go.
And ladies and gentlemen, he has finished the race, and we have the winner, Kibet Alex of Kenya. has won this race. It was almost going, it went off the track. But thanks be to the heavens that I was able to make it back on track, and of course we won there. It would have been disastrous.
Well, he actually did very well to win the race. Simon Chiprot coming second in Kenya, and Timothy Kiplagat making it a Kenyan 1, 2, 3. And that is the Burundi honest tour trying to finish up the race.
And so more athletes crossing the finish line. But surely it is Kibet Alex, another Kenyan, another year, another winner at the Okpekpe International Road Race. And just now,
Jima Bekele Reta crossing the line from Ethiopia, and
more of the international athletes are crossing the finish line. We'll be identifying each of them later.
Well, we'll wait for the first Nigerian
to come in, and we'll soon be going also to look at the ladies where they are. I'm sure they will be close.
That is Emmanuel Giang. He is the first Nigerian. We've probably seen Emmanuel Giang running. We can't confirm if he is the leading Nigerian, but Giang seems to be making his way down. Closing up on the Moroccan athlete. We will tell you, we will now meet up with the leading female athletes.
Of course, there you have her. We'll identify her at any moment.
Like Diana Chemtai from Kenya.
I will almost be sure if she is the leader.
If she's the leader, yeah.
Others will be playing catch-up because she's the only lady who's in. Here comes another lady making her way through.
And that the Kenyans are coming through. We are seeing the leading ladies coming through. The ladies are actually pushing up down to run their 33 seconds. And that seems to be the leading Nigerian coming just after the Moroccan Zakaria Boudad, who had given. And Emmanuel Giang is 32 minutes, seems to be the first Nigerian across. So he's won the title again.
So that's another year, another win for Emmanuel Giang, the man from Plateau State. Of course,
Emmanuel Giang comes from a center of Plateau that they produce a lot of distance runners.
And now we have the first lady coming in, not that kind of the first lady, the lady coming in first in this Okpekpe International Road Race. We'll see who is the lady winning this year. She has quickened her pace towards the finish line, and we'll identify her. Here comes the rope to cross, and here she comes, crossing the finish line. Is Yamidera Dida of Ethiopia, champion of the women's race in 2018 Okpekpe International Road Race. And it's really interesting. A Kenyan male and an Ethiopian female winner. And there you have the other female.
The ladies are now coming in, and now we have the silver medalists coming through, and that's the Kenyan lady Chibetwe. Chibetwe has come through for silver medal, and it's a Kenyan 2-3. It's a Kenyan 2-3 for the ladies. It's a Kenyan 2-3. Diana is third. Diana Kipyoke is third. And that just shows that it's an Ethiopian lady that has spoiled the Kenyan total king sweep. We have 3 Kenyans, 1, 2, 3, and 2 Kenyans, 2 and 3 in the ladies. And that's 1 Ethiopian and 5 Kenyans taking up the medal positions.
Really interesting. So this year, last year, just like you said, Ethiopian clean sweep. And in 2018, Kenyan clean sweep.
It seems that it's the rivalry that will go on for a very long time between the two countries.
All right, now. That's another lady just coming through there and taking her own time there. That's talking about Perrine Nengampi of Kenya.
All right, guys, right here with me, the first person to cross the finish line. And not surprisingly, it's a Kenyan. Alex Chibet made it for the first time right here at the Okpekpe 10-kilometer road race, and he's turned out to be the winner. Congratulations. This must be massive for you. You came here, I'm sure you came here with the mindset of winning. Let's talk about that race and the conditions.
Okay, the race was good. First, I want to thank my God for the win today. The course, really, it's my first time to compete here in Nigeria in this race of Okpekpe. The course was not easy, especially towards the finish line. The course was steep and hilly, but at the start, the course was okay.
And then let's talk about the Kenyans here. We've had Kenyans win it regularly. Your personal best, you did tell me, was a 29, and now you've run another 29. But let's talk about the plans of the Kenyans and how you put together, because it looks like it was a Kenyan 1-2.
Okay, for me, I've never had a nice course to run a good 10K. Only here is a good 10K, but the course itself is difficult. But for Kenyans also, they are used to hilly places. They normally train in hilly parts, and so they are used to the course.
And do you think this is a race you would like to come back to next year and defend your champion?
For sure, I would like to defend next year, but it depends on the shape of next year also and the preparation of the season of this year. Surely I would like to come next year also.
And we do hope you come back and defend your title. Thank you very much, Alex. So there you have it, Kenyan Alex Chibet. Not surprisingly, like I did say earlier on, it's always between the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. And this time around, that rivalry was taken even further, and Kenyans came out on top. We'll take you back to our studios now, and we'll be right back with the second place.
Well, what an outing that had to be, no doubt. And we have a new winner. Okpekpe International 10-kilometer road race still remains to produce a winner that will win it at least twice. Unfortunately for Simon Chiprot, he couldn't do that, came in second. Silver is a good way to go. And you know what? I felt the elements were against the runners. We were hoping to have at least a sub-29 in this particular road race, Ernie, and that didn't happen. I would want to blame it on the weather.
Well, that would be a nice excuse for the runners, but I think that the leading pack were very few. They broke out very early. There wasn't enough competition at the beginning part of the race, so that might have affected their pacing and going through. Most of the time in top races like this, you normally have a pacemaker to try and put up the pace, to try and fight the pace. But once the leading pack of athletes know that they are leading, they are within a position, they don't have to exert themselves so much, and now it affects their strategy and affects the whole race plan. So I feel that the leading pack were not pushed at the beginning part. We saw within the first 3 minutes, only 6 people had broken away. By halfway of the race, they have already filed up, and it was more or less a two-man race until the end of the race.
Here is what I was hoping. I was going to ask you this earlier on anyway, as regards a pacemaker. I would expect that since the race has moved up to the level it is now as a silver-labeled race, there would have been a pacemaker, so at least we'll be seen to do at least a sub-28 going forward.
I think it's one of the things that the organizers will have to look at in the technical department. They probably will have to put 1 or 2 pacemakers. It puts a pacemaker that takes you up to probably 5 kilometers. And then once you have pushed the athletes to that level, then it's the start of the race determines the finish of the race. And once you don't have a very beautiful start at the start of the race, a very beautiful pace, you can always know within the first kilometer, within the 3rd kilometer, and by the 5th kilometer, you can know whether you're going to world record pace or you're going at a very good, maybe meeting record pace. And that's what the organizers will have to get right next time.
The truth is, and we can't take anything away from the fact that the weather contributed to the slow pace we had in this particular edition of the race. Because the truth is, the winds, having to run against the winds, you're one person who understands how headwinds could actually impede on your performance.
And it's even worse in the sense that the weather at the start was different than the weather at the finish. So if they had started in the race with rain, I think the athletes would have known what to expect. But by the time you start in the very clear weather, and
he won this in 2016, so he kind of understands the terrain. But I'm sure maybe the weather came against him. Chibet held on very, very strongly. All right, so as it is, it's Chibet, Alex, Simon Chiprot, and Timothy Kiplagat, the guys who are basically have held fourth, 1, 2, 3. We're waiting to say, I'm sorry about that, I just kicked your medal. I should actually respect your medal. 1, 2, 3 who've made it, and great outing also for the women. Not great timing, but all the same, I think it was a great outing.
And a great outing as a country for Kenyans, because the Ethiopians won it the other time for a clean sweep, and I think the Kenyans have come out with a vengeance. Almost did a clean sweep on both male and female, but I think they had the Ethiopian girl to... she had something to say about that.
No doubt. And I think she came out very strong. The winner, Yami Derai Dida from Ethiopia. She was the one that basically came top tier. I think she ran like a sub 31 in this particular instance. And we just want to keep seeing quick times. And you know what? I mean, look at the distance she gave to the second winner, or rather second place, Tue Sandra Chebet.
Oh, well, yes, she was a class ahead of everybody. And while we'll talk about how we must also give kudos to Emmanuel Gyang, it's for the first Nigerian, and he has done excellently well. And he is a veteran at sorts. He's a young man, but he's been running like he's been running forever. You have to give it to Emmanuel. Winner in the 2015 edition of the Okpekpe Road Race, and he was actually a bronze medalist in the 2016. 2017, well, there were some tough field in that particular one. And this time around, come back to actually win it. It shows a lot of guts, and I'm waiting to see who the winner for the women will be. I won't be surprised if we see another Deborah Palm coming through here, even though I'm not sure if she's part of the race. Oh, well, the female distance runners have been more stable than the, and they have seen that they've had more longevity than the male having, for reasons we do not know why. But one thing we can be sure of is that they are coming from
they have also bought into the vision of the organizers. Yeah, they bought into the vision, and we should also understand that they are giving a message to the people of Edo State and the people of Nigeria as a whole that most of the time it's not just about competition, it's not just about winning, it's about taking part and being healthy, and that's the part of it. The governor don't expect to come and win. I think if His Excellency the governor comes to win the $10,000, I think a lot of us will have questions about that. Yeah, but again, I mean, this is a massive tourism